Hi, I'm Cliff with Closed Casket Creations. I wanted to talk to you guys about our 3D transfers we call temporary traumas. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with what a 3D transfer is it's a temporary, kind of like a temporary tattoo. Instead of the image of the tattoo, it's actually a makeup appliance. And they're made out of 100% Pros-aide. We're using creamed Pros-aide rather than the Pros-aide Bondo that is normally used, which is a mixture of Pros-aide and a filler called Cabosil. And Pros-aide is water-based. It is non-toxic and non-irritating, and it's also waterproof. So there's really very highly unlikely chance that you would have any kind of adverse reaction to the Pros-aide, even after wearing the appliance for a long period of time. Another great benefit of the Pros-aide transfers is they are easy to remove. They will stay in place for as long as you want it, but whenever you're ready to actually take it off, they pretty much just peel right off, and any residue can be dissolved with 99% alcohol. Okay, and this is my wife, Mandy. She is going to be our model for this application. She also works with me at Closed Casket Creations. And we're going to be using our Zombie Bite transfer. And this is what the transfers will look like whenever you get them. You see, they just like a temporary tattoo. They have the paper backing, plastic on the back, and the appliance is actually inside, just as the tattoo would be. Because the paper actually covers the front of the appliance, we draw kind of the basic outline of the shape of the appliance on the paper. That way you can position it in the area that you want. I'm going to be putting this on her just about here. And so we want to clean off her neck area with some 99% alcohol. You can get 99% alcohol online, a lot of makeup stores, period, a lot of pharmacies and things, period. I buy mine from a local electronics store. They also use 99% alcohol to clean off computer equipment. And so I'm just going to clean off the area that I'm going to put the appliance on, just to make sure there's not any oils or makeup or any kind of other residue that would inhibit the appliance from actually sticking to her neck. Now we're ready to go. Okay, and once you're ready to apply, you just want to kind of take it and press around the whole outside of the edges to make sure that everything's stuck down real good. And this one also has an open area in the middle, so that's kind of like an edge too. So you want to make sure you press down there really good. If this is a solid transfer that doesn't have any open areas in the middle, it's not as big of a deal. And then once you're ready to go, just peel it off slowly. You don't want to just rip it off because then you may tear the appliance. Yeah. And it's peeled right off. And then just flip it over and stick it right where you want it to go. Stick it on there real good. And then just like a temporary tattoo, you want to take a wet rag or a paper towel or something and just press and hold it over the area for about 20 seconds. And basically what this does is it activates the silicone of your transfer paper, and it makes it kind of real slippery. And so then it unattaches from the transfer itself. So once it's good and wet, just want to kind of press all over it. And then carefully grab an edge, get it right off. And there's your appliance, all attached. Since we're using creamed Pros-aide rather than the Bondo Pros-aide, the appliance dries almost transparent. So you see some of the thicker areas are white, most of it is actually clear. So the edges are virtually invisible. Any edges that you do have that you can see, you can take a small brush and some of the 99% alcohol that we had earlier, just dip it in there and just kind of brush the edges. That'll dissolve any of the visible edges, and everything will just kind of disappear right into the skin. Alright, now once it's on there, you want to let it dry, and then we're ready for paint. Alright, now I'm going to paint the appliance using alcohol-based makeup. I've got two palettes here. I've got the Skin Illustrator palette, and I have the Skin Illustrator Effects palette. And you don't have to use alcohol-based makeups to paint the appliance. I like to because I like the vibrancy of the color, and also it lasts a lot longer than regular cream makeup. But you can always use cream makeup, set it with powder, and then do a layer of Pros-aide on the top to kind of seal it all in. So that is available to you as well. But for this application, I'm going to be using the Skin Illustrator palette. Okay, now after you have your makeup applied on there, if you're using the alcohol-based makeup, if you put it on really thick, kind of as we've done here, as the actor or the person wearing it moves around, it could start to flake off. And again, as I mentioned, if you're using cream makeup, since that can rub off, what we want to do now is seal it with a layer of Pros-aide. So what I've got here is just some Pros-aide. I'm just going to lightly stipple it on around the whole area. And it goes on kind of white, but it will dry clear, so no worries there. And you just want to stipple that on the entire area. Yeah. You can also use a makeup sealer, like green marble or Ben Nye's Final Seal. Any of those would also help your makeup stay. Now that your Pros-aide's dry, you see it's completely clear. Looks like we didn't put anything on there. Now it's going to be tacky a little. So we want to just put some neutral set powder on it. Just kind of apply it liberally. It looks like there's a lot, but it's okay. All around the edges. This is also going to take away any shininess and kind of add to the realism. Working it all the edges. And once you've got it powdered, you can just kind of blow it away. This is my wife, so I can blow on her. It's not a big deal. Then take a damp cloth, and you want to just press it onto it. That's going to help set the powder, and it'll also bring the color back. Feel free to get in there with the edge of your damp cloth and get any little areas that may have been too deep for you to miss just by pressing over it. Remember, this is waterproof, so you're not going to hurt it. And you can even get in there with a slightly damp brush. So just dampen down any little areas of powder, and they'll go clear again. Now it's not shiny, it looks completely natural. Now we can add some blood. You don't want to go overboard with the blood because you don't want to cover up all the stuff that you just worked really hard to do. But you just want to add some blood on to kind of make it look a little juicy. You could also use Vaseline or KY jelly. Also works really good. Let it kind of pool up in those deep areas. You can kind of let it drip out a little bit. You can also take it, kind of smear it. There you go. Now she's zombied out, ready to be turned at any moment. Thanks for watching, guys.